So we are essentially a week removed from the terrible atrocities that happened down in Sutherland Springs, Texas, where 24 people lost their life. And these are folks from 18-month-old child all the way to people in their 70s. And we just want to say on behalf of our company, for me personally, to everybody that is dealing with this tragedy and looking for answers, just how very sorry we are. Our condolences to you and your families as you try to pick up the pieces and move forward. And there are going to be a lot of questions as to why. The one thing, the reason that I'm making this video the way I am today, typically we would do something more upbeat, and as we align with our companies in the world of safety and security and teaching churches and schools, government entities, private businesses on what to do in the moment when an event breaks bad, regardless of what type of event it is. You can't help but stop in situations like this and the one in Las Vegas and the weekly deaths that are happening up in Chicago and not ask why and where are we at as a world. And I think the just the logical common sense very simple answer is the world's always been bad, it's always going to be bad. It's just knowing what to do in the moment and being as prepared as you possibly can be. And some of these acts of violence and domestic terrorism, there's very, very little you can do. Even through all the years of training and the areas of expertise that we have within our alliance and all the people we work with, there are just sometimes inevitable events. And all you can do is sit back and evaluate them, look at the facts, and then try to do the best to move forward to prevent them from happening again. So I want to keep this very simple. I want to point out two things. Number one, if you have somebody that is in your life and they are struggling, they are depressed, they are disconnected, they are outside of what their behavioral norm is normally, and what I mean by that is if normally they're pretty jovial and upbeat and connected with people, and all of a sudden they just go silent, weeks and months are going by, they clearly look disheveled, things have changed in their life. Get them help, seek counseling for them, walk a journey with them, get law enforcement intervention if you need to. If you're a person that is struggling, and I don't care what your walk of life is, where you work or what you do, if you're struggling, seek help, seek counseling. Again, reach out to a confidant, a friend that will be willing to walk a journey with you. But whatever you do, don't compartmentalize it and try to own everything on your own. It's much easier to walk a journey with somebody. I know that first step can feel difficult, but if you have folks in your life or if you're struggling, seek help. The second thing is have a plan, know what to do. In our business, we trademark a term called response window, and that's the time from when an event breaks bad until the event is either over or you have definitive help with you. And I don't care what that is. I don't care if it's a heart attack, if somebody that happens in front of you, a slip and fall, a car crash as you're going down the roadway, or something all the way up to an active killer. You don't have to be an expert in something or have an extended amount of knowledge. You just have to think, what would I do if? Could I handle this if? And that first 30, 60 seconds is probably the single most important time frame, depending on the circumstances of what to do. And you may be within that response window for several minutes or even hours on your own without help coming. And in a world where we tend to look at law enforcement and firefighters and emergency services, we've titled them first responders. The reality is they're really the emergency responders. The teacher in the classroom, the mom, shopping at the grocery store, the dad taking his daughter to the mall. Those are the first responders, because you truly are, until definitive help gets with you or until that is ended, you are the first responder in that situation, and you need to know what to do. So those are the two things that I wanted to address today. One, if somebody's struggling, get them help. Two, know your boundaries, know your limits, know what to do in the moment.